So I want people to see him and understand who he is. This is a person that has a problem with people of color, period. I don't care how many black MAGA out there with their hats. I want to be clear, when we look at who it is that he's kicking out of this country as people of color, when we look at who he always disrespects and says that they are low IQ, even though when you look at his cabinet, this has to be the most incompetent cabinet we have ever had in the history of this country. When we're talking about people that literally have the ability to drop bombs or order that bombs be dropped or make recommendations that bombs be dropped, and they literally don't know how to get the signal chat right. So we're talking about low IQ individuals, but so long as they say that this guy is their guy, and usually if they work for a certain news network, that's the only qualification that's necessary. I've got news for the president. I am not going anywhere. No matter how many squiggly lines they draw in the state of Texas, I will be back, and I will be on his behind and making sure the real accountability that the American people are demanding, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that it is had when the Democrats take control of this House in the midterms.
All right. Well, there she is. We're going to get into all that and more next. This is Wednesday, and it's time for Pop and Politics. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-host. Of course, we have Nicole Bennett.
Hey, y'all.
And Shelly E.
Hi.
All right. Yana is still away on vacation. She should be back next week. All right. So, folks, before we light this fire, do your part. Tap the thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. We're live here on YouTube and Rumble. If you're on the go, you can catch us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts under the name Pop and Politics. We love our chat. We shout out every super chat. So it's the best way to get your voice heard in the conversation and to tell mainstream media we're here. Oh, I heard something. Okay, that we are here and we're not going anywhere. This is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. Stand with us and subscribe so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, ladies, let's set it off. Before we get into all of the headlines, gotta make an announcement. Folks, we are launching our new store. Mm-hmm. So as you can see at the front of our YouTube page, now you can access our merch, and it is a great way to support the channel, and we have some really cool stuff. So this is one of the new shirts that I am wearing tonight. So you can see it says smart, edgy, conservative, and then on the back, see if you can see it.
Ta-da, keep spinning. Okay, right there. Right there. It's good. Yeah.
Has our logo. So it's super cool. This is the women's shirt. We have it in men's. And Shelly is wearing the other one that's really cool.
Yeah, you
look at the front here.
Oh my God.
See, unapologetically a mess.
You got a lot on the back.
Later on, because I wasn't prepared to turn them out.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I wasn't prepared to model like
It's got a flag, a fist emoji, and a heart.
Yeah, it's
on the
really
back.
hilarious. And no, you could, and it's on the, you can go on the YouTube page and see the back and the front, but we just wanted to show you because we are so excited.
We're back and running. We're back in the merch business.
And
Let's go.
Nicole's gonna have hers soon. All of us are gonna have our shirts. We just got these samples and we couldn't wait until the rest came in to show you guys. Super excited about this. Again, you can go right to the front of our YouTube page, and we're going to add even more merch on there. We've got hats, we've got shirts. Let us know what you guys want to see, because we're here for you. So if you shout out in the chat, is there anything in particular that you want us to carry? And we'll make sure we get it there in the store. Because this is your store. We want you guys to like what we're providing.
I love that sticker. I'm one of those people that have a million stickers across all 55 of my laptops. I cannot wait. I don't
like them on my car. I will not put stickers on my car.
Yeah. I have a crab, of course, because I'm from Maryland, and one that says, "Fixing to go have fun. You coming?"
Right.
JT said, "Do we have a what? Your big dummy."
Oh yeah, I know. I need to do that, JT. Yes, I do.
Gonna call out.
Yes, indeed. So you guys, thank you so much. Again, we are on our way to 200,000 subscribers, and we need your help. So that is the goal to reach by Labor Day. We have a little less than 30 days now. So folks, we need your help. Hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button as you watch tonight, because that helps to get us out in front of a wider audience. So I see you guys are already super chatting. Let's see what we got here. All right. Kung Fu CJ says, hello, ladies. Let's get it poppin'. All right. Thank you so much. Red Cup with Mika says, have a great show,
Mika.
ladies. Thank you, Mika. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into this. Of course, that was Jasmine Crockett. So we want to bring you guys the latest on the Texas redistricting. In a political stunt that screams desperation, over 50 Texas House Democrats have fled the lone state again. This is actually the second time they did this. I didn't know that.
Third time they've done this. The third time they've done this.
This time to Illinois and DC, all to stop Republican redistricting plan backed by President Trump and Governor Greg Abbott. But this time things are different. There's arrest warrants, massive fines, and a bomb threat. And even a rare constitutional challenge have turned this into a national showdown. So, Nicole, what do you think of what Jasmine Crockett said right there at the beginning?
Well, it's typical Jasmine Crockett. She has no idea what she's talking about.
And she made some really bold statements.
Well, her staffers made bold statements and accusations. And usually when people are speaking, especially publicly or on TV, and you see them doing this, it's because they're trying to remember the points that the person told them to say. Calling Trump low IQ is an issue. Definitely talking about people that she has no idea their political background, what they've done. There's no mistaking that Donald Trump has made the greatest political comeback in the history of American politics, maybe even politics across the world. She don't have no kudos for that.
No.
None.
And then the thing, Shelley, that she said about how he's racist, of course, I guess they had stopped that claim for a while. I guess that's back. He's racist, and he's going after only the brown people. What's your response to that?
Look, Jasmine Crockett is sounding more like Kamala Harris to me.
Every day.
Word salad. She's, this loose stream of consciousness and these loose thoughts. She doesn't make sense, number one. Number two, she's not on Trump's ass. She's basically scared of him. This is why she puts these things out here, this fear-mongering and all of these propaganda tactics that she's using. She doesn't know, or at least to me, she doesn't understand that she's really, her people are not really following her, so to speak, or the Democratic Party, the base. The base of the Democratic Party is not too happy with the leadership. And so she is running, in a sense, a sinking ship right now. Not only that, she's supposed to be in Congress. What the hell is she doing in Illinois? She's not a state lawmaker anymore. Why is she in Illinois? This is all play, if you will. It's a photo ops. It's to get donations and funding for a losing campaign that they are on, at least right now. The track that they're on is losing. And, frankly, I hope they stay on it.
Well, the reason why she's involved is now, and this, you talk about talking points, Nicole, they are trying to make this seem as if this is a national issue. It will affect Congress if the Republicans maintain control over the House and if they get a larger lead in the Senate. And this is AG Eric Holder really sounding the alarm and fear-mongering in this next clip. This is clip 9. Take a look.
This is not a Texas problem. Yeah, the focus of this issue is Texas, but this is a national problem. And you got to understand, if somehow, some way, Republicans are able to hold on to the House in next year, and in spite of the fact that I think they should lose because of the big budget bill that took health care away from millions of people, that gave tax breaks to billionaires who didn't need it, if they were somehow able to hold on to the House in 2026, that is the House of Representatives that would have to certify who won the presidential election come 2028, 2029. Now, if you want to play with fire, and that's what we're doing here, you put in a bunch of partisan hacks who are not supposed to be in the House, who are there because of gerrymandering and a whole range of other things that Republicans are doing, and then put at risk the possibility that that body would not certify who the next president was. That's why this is a national problem. This is not something only the Texans ought to be concerned about.
So they're fear mongering.
Exactly.
Not only fear mongering, he should be ashamed of himself. His behavior at this point is absolutely outrageous. It is despicable, and he ought to know better. You know, he already had an iffy legacy, but now this legacy, you talk about tarnished. This, in and of itself, is the type of talk that makes Americans not believe in our system of government. It shakes us to our core, and none of it is true. Yeah. Not one thing. Let me tell you, there is a very good chance that the Republicans were going to hold on to the House and Senate anyway, right?
Right.
So then what? Now you're threatening not certifying the next presidential election. Is that the new threat?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. See, I'm sick of the Eric Holders, and I know Loretta Lynch wasn't on there. I'm sick of these people who have tried to basically overthrow our whole damn government.
Yes.
They have
Wait a minute. You can't say that because these are brown people. These
okay.
are brown people.
Bullshit.
You guys are
Excuse my
racist.
French.
You guys are
Brown,
racist.
pink, whatever, blue. These people are, and in my opinion, again, treasonous. Okay, you all,
That's
you all,
exactly right, Sally.
and they have yet to take responsibility to even acknowledge what they have done. Eric Holder is on here. You know why? Because he's been recently named in these documents that Nancy Garrett has put in. So now he's trying to basically put a little different feel out to obscure and to confuse people. No, don't be confused. He is part of the scam. He's part of the treasonous activity under President Obama and the Democratic Party. These people are trying to take over our country. They tried. A sitting president or a president who was duly elected, they came up with a whole scheme. Why didn't they ask Eric Holder about that on that show?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. They allowed him to sit there and parrot these doggone talking points. And it's easy to see his talking points because he said the exact doggone thing that Crocket was trying to remember when she was doing this. Right. Trying to remember what she's supposed to say. America, hear me very clearly. These people are disingenuous. They're not dealing with you from a point of honesty. Gerrymandering happens almost in every single state, whatever political party is in the majority. Yes, no one likes it, especially the minority party, but this is a part of our political system and always has been this way. This is not a national emergency, but you know what is? What they passed the last time these Democrats went fleeing because they didn't want to do their doggone job. They passed some laws that said, listen, the next time you do this, there's going to be some penalty. There's going to be some bite in your butt for not showing up to do your job. And now Greg Abbott is testing that law. Bring them back and make them serve or replace them. If they prefer to hang around with Pritzker and spend Beto's money, enjoying Chicago, God bless. Let's put somebody else in the seat who is going to represent the great people of Texas the way they deserve to be represented.
Absolutely. We have some super chatters here, folks. Thank you all so much. We certainly appreciate these super chats. It keeps us online. All right, let's see here. We have Ginger with a $10 super chat. It says respect and love from the great state of Florida.
Ooh,
Florida is my state. Well, I'm not there. I wish I was there, but that's a state I love too. All right, Rico with the $3
Rico.
chat says you guys are stars in the DMV already.
Oh,
thank you,
you're so sweet. Thank you.
All right, Jen McMahon with a $10 super chat says Democrats live on fear mongering their voter base now with gerrymandering being needed, or we need to save the democracy. Yeah,
that's all they say. The democracy is in trouble.
I am looking for the 24/7 news cycle showing these jokers being handcuffed using the FBI, whatever, and haul their asses back to Texas. Put them in Galveston. Maybe we can send a pigeon carrier to free them again. Or they want to celebrate Juneteenth, but I can't wait. I want them to be hauled handcuffed. They want the photo ops. I want to see it because I want them to be removed from their office.
I'd say take them to Alligator Alcatraz. They love these illegals so much. They want to be with them so much. They traveled all the way to where was it? It was Guatemala, somewhere, El Salvador to get these illegals. Send them there to have them bypass Texas, go down to Florida first. sit them in the holding cell there for a while so they can understand what the illegals feel like, and then bring them back to Texas. That's what I say do. But listen, you both made a very good point. They are trying to erode against our institutions. And we know this is a Marxist style tactic where they are trying to erode the trust of our institutions and to destroy us from within. We cannot let them do this.
Absolutely.
There is a real swamp in DC and an erosion, and we can't let them do this as well. We got to fight back with the truth. That's why it's important to share this broadcast.
Absolutely.
Share it in a DM, post it on your social media. We want the truth to get out. These people are fear-mongering. President Trump is not racist. If he's racist, then we're all racist, right?
Well, I said before, call me racist.
Yeah, and don't let that scare you either, because this is the word they keep throwing out now. Everybody's a racist that doesn't agree with them. And if you don't agree with a black person, you are a racist. And it's ridiculous. It really is. And so, this just keeps going. But speaking of ICE, there are people out here that agree with us, particularly people in the black community, and they feel like that what President Trump his administration is doing with ICE, with getting these illegals out, is a good thing. Take a look at this next clip. This is clip 7.
In 1 week, I have seen in my city black men power washing parking lots, black men doing roofing work, black men doing lawn services around businesses in my city. Things are starting to look like the old days again. Black Man Thoughts 2.0, and I'm out. Peace.
All right. Thought they said that we didn't. These are the jobs nobody wants.
Listen,
right?
Everybody like a paycheck.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But this is what I see in one of the communities where I work. It has changed significantly. Again, I said it before when I was on the cruise. When you take the illegals out of the equation, then it gives American people a chance to work. People who have been just absolutely dropped from the job numbers, because after you're unemployed for so long, they just kind of stop counting you. You're out of the system. Well, these are people who are saying, well, you know what? I'd like to, get a check on Friday. Let me go ahead and do a little work. We're seeing it in Tacoma. We're seeing it in areas in Montgomery County where before it was simply Hispanic people out there toiling early in the morning. And now I'm seeing brothers out there. I'm seeing young white girls out there. And it's amazing. It is amazing what happens when America gets the message. America's supposed to go to work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, I thought about this. I love that clip from that guy. I thought about this. Booker T. Washington basically told us, 2 centuries ago, right? That having a job, having skills, particularly for Black people, that's a good thing. If you have a skill, a talent that you can share, work for, whatever the case may be, get something in return for it monetarily, that is a good thing. Not only does it sustain your family, it helps with your community. You're not dependent. If you have a skill, a viable, productive skill, you are in a good place. That's number one. Number two, where did we ever get the idea? And I'm saying this is for all of us, okay? Where did we ever get the idea, the arrogance, I'll even say, that, certain jobs are below or beneath or nobody wants to do that kind of work. Now, granted, all of us have different skills. We may or may not be fit. I'll be the first to tell you, I would never be able to be an exterminator or a plumber because I'm not going through, I just know I wouldn't be able to do it. But that doesn't mean I look down on those that do. I will pay for a plumber and exterminator. I thank God for those types of people.
Absolutely.
People come and do that work or whatever. So when they're needed. But I don't like this idea that we can sniff our nose or turn our noses up. That job is below me or below whomever. No, it sustains people. It gives them a sense of dignity if that is what you want to do and you know how to do it well. And someone is willing to pay you for your time and your labor, whatever you want to call it, a market rate, whatever that is. So this idea that, Black people won't do these jobs, whatever. To me, that is another form of racism.
Absolutely.
It's not only that, but it's an American. I think the Democrats are pushing.
Yeah,
pushing that idea. But you have people coming here from the Caribbean, from Africa, from South America, they are coming here and doing these jobs and they are becoming rich off of it. Okay.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes.
They are retiring early off of these types of jobs. They come here, they work work really hard for several years doing these types of jobs, and then they're able to retire. So it's nothing wrong with this type of work. And we have the elite left pushing the narrative and idea that these jobs are unwanted by Americans, particularly Black Americans.
Exactly.
And it's not right.
Exactly.
This is the racism that you get from white, liberal, elite women. Oh, listen, Black person, you don't really want to do that job. We'll just keep sending you checks and just enough to keep you addicted to getting checks. And then you can make funny TikTok videos about all the free food stamps you get. But I don't want you to work. I don't want you to be self-sufficient. I don't want your children to see you be industrious, because there has to be poor people in order for me to feel like I'm better than you.
Right.
But you don't hear that from me.
White
I'm looking out for you. I'm really looking out for you. See, that paternalistic and maternalistic school of thought has plagued the Black community for eons. And the problem that we're having is people buy into it because it's easier. Freedom is not free. Freedom costs. You got mortgages to pay, car note, insurance, especially in Maryland, they got a fee for everything.
And let me tell you something else, Michelle E. A man in a uniform is a turn on.
Say it again.
Okay.
Say it again for the people in the back.
A man in a uniform is now men look nice and handsome in suits and dressed up, but I tell you, a man with a uniform, military, police, whatever,
Even the cable guy.
there you go.
Okay, KJ and this butt crack. Don't you go butt cracking tonight. We're not butt cracking tonight. We're not butt cracking tonight.
You know what it is? It's not so much the skill that they have, which is honorable, right? I'm not saying that. It's like a man in a uniform, to me at least, I guess, it kind of denotes that it's just a little more masculine.
Absolutely.
That they are willing to, quote unquote, get dirty, if you will. That they are willing to step in and rescue the damsel in distress, if you will. I mean, I don't know how many of you, sometimes there was a little guy that I liked, and not little, but a guy in a uniform. I would just pretend I needed some plumbing done in my house.
You know what? See, I like truckers.
The gas.
I'm a big trucker fan.
Truckers.
Woo! They did the child. Woo!
The Garrison.
Yes.
You blow out the pilot light, and then you go. I think I smell gas in the house.
Oh my gosh, folks! All right. Well, sound off in the chat if we have any ladies in the chat. Do you feel the same way? Do you love a man in a uniform? Here, let's Alex and KJ likes that sexy.
I'm telling you, it's something about a plumber's crack for KJ.
Yeah, I did say that. I did say the longer the better too. It has to go halfway up the back for it to really be sexy.
Oh my God!
we have some super chatters here. Thank you guys so much. All right, we have Tammy with the $5
so much.
Tammy says, "I love your show, ladies. Informative, refreshing, and inspirational. Thank you so much." Brown Eyes.
Hey, girl.
Says, "Hey, ladies, supporting your channel. Thank you so much. We really appreciate every last one. Thank you, Tyrone Davis.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, folks. We appreciate you all. If you want to donate, there is the Cash App. What do you call that? The Cash App QR code, right? So you can just use your phone, click there, and you can do a donation that way. If you don't want to go, do the super chats, that's a great way to help us out too. All right. So moving right back on to this. So speaking of ICE, okay. As we've seen in the news, they have gotten a lot of flack with Democrats trying to dox them, protesters and leftists on the streets trying to fight them when they're actually arresting illegal people, really bad people. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. So we have here this next clip. They're showing how they're receiving an overwhelming influx of applications. Take a look. This is clip 8.
This is one of the things that I'm so excited about, because we've seen our ICE officers be terrorized by activists, by violent people who want to do them harm, and they have continued to go out bravely and do their jobs and make sure that they're upholding the rule of law. And so our recruitment efforts to hire 10,000 new ICE officers has been extremely successful. Lawrence, as of today, we have over 80,000 applicants for those 10,000 positions already. People and patriots across this country that say we we want to join, we want to help and be a part of this effort. It's overwhelming to see the amount of response and support that our ICE officers have gotten and people who want to join their ranks. So I would tell everybody, go to join.ice.gov and go there and sign up, be a part of this team that is helping make America safe again with President Trump. And the other thing, Lawrence, I would say is we've removed any of the age barriers. We no longer have a cap on how old you can be, or you can continue at age 18, sign up for ICE and join us and be a part of it. We'll get you trained and ready to be equipped to go out on the streets and help protect families.
Yeah. Wow. So it's good to see that. What are your thoughts on that, Nicole?
Listen, I love it. I absolutely love it. The more people that we can gainfully employ, especially older people, some people who may have, worked for the Fed or worked for a Department of Justice or something, and they want to come back and help the nation. This is a beautiful call to service. It is also very good for young men.
Absolutely.
A great job, good benefits, something that you can be proud of that you're doing, something your family can be proud of. It's respectful work. This is what I'm talking about. This is how you build a good family.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your thoughts there, Shelley?
I love it. More men in uniforms, I tell you. There's a good thing. It's a very good thing, and I hope that there are plenty of men who are applying to serve our country in this way to wrap up, get the riffraff off the streets, the illegals, get them off, send them home, round them up, put them in Alligator Alcatraz, or the Texas Detention Center, wherever they need to go. Yeah. I love this. I think with President Trump being reelected, I think there's a sense of masculinity in the air, right? I think there's a sense of men not having to be afraid to be men, and men actually having a sense of purpose, certainly finding out what their purpose may be. So men getting off the couch, if you will, getting out there. And I mean, this is beautiful. I love it. The average pay, I just looked it up very quickly. Average pay for ICE jobs are about $50,000 to $90,000. I guess that depends on location.
Where you are.
Things like that. So, 50,000, let's take the middle, that'll be about 60,000, 70,000 in the middle. That's enough. I mean, that's not enough if you don't want to be a millionaire, but it is certainly enough to sustain a very young family.
Absolutely.
This is your first job.
It's a great starting position. It's a great, you could, go from there to DOD or somewhere else. The beautiful thing about it is it's men and women. And there are jobs that are not just on the street, but administrative jobs. And, they need support staff. Absolutely. This is a really, really good look for people who were saying, all they're doing is firing people. They don't care about the nation. Clearly, the nation cares about the nation. 80,000 applicants thus far. Absolutely. That's a big deal.
What they're doing, people, like you said, people saying they don't care, they were firing people. No, what they're doing is they did fire people. They got rid of people in jobs that were not necessary. These are necessary jobs. Absolutely. These are jobs, I'm calling them active jobs, if you will. Yes, they need support staff and administrative staff, but the bulk of them and the bulk of the work is active, not just going to work and signing on and then taking 2-hour lunch break and then go to lunch after that. No, we're tired of that.
And I encourage you guys to go online. Actor Dean Cain, if you recall, he's the guy who played Superman. He actually applied. That's what I heard. He's a police officer. He's a retired police officer, and he's an actor, but he's an actual police officer. And he said he applied to be with ICE as well. He did a whole Twitter video about
awesome.
Video about it. Yeah. So
that is awesome.
He said he wants to serve his country. He wants to get out there and help. Yeah, awesome. It is. It really is.
I love the way masculinity has made a comeback. I think that's a really good thing for
Same
us.
Here. Same, folks. Thank you all so much. We had some super chatters here. All right, so let's see here. Kung Fu CJ says, y'all acting naughty tonight.
Yes, we are, sir. Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. See, Kung Fu CJ, this is popping politics. It's not Christian conservative. So,
what's your shirt say? Smart, edgy.
It's the edgy part. It's the edgy part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is a great way for you to shop. There you can again, we said at the beginning of the show, we have some new merch, and so this is one of the new shirts, Papa Politics logo on the back, and then it says smart, edgy, conservative on the front.
Ooh, show the trucker hat again.
And then, we got trucker hats too. I love hats, so I'm definitely gonna get that.
That is very cute.
It is. It's really cute. And we have another hat too. I think the
I like the blue,
the unapologetic American. Yeah. So yeah, we got some great stuff here, folks. So definitely check it out. I love that shirt. Shelly's wearing that shirt.
That's what's on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yep, unapologetically American. Really cool. So it's a great way to support us, folks. So if you guys want to get some merch, definitely check us out. You can get it right on the YouTube page after this broadcast. All right. So we've been smiling, we've been laughing, but this I think is about to piss all of us off. So are you all familiar with Jennifer Welch? She is a progressive podcaster known for I've Had It All and IHIP News, where she and co-host Angie Sullivan discuss political and cultural issues, so with a comedic, often confrontational tone. Well, she had some very nasty things to say about conservatives recently. Take a look. This is clip 2.
I think we need to start bullying people that watch Fox News. I agree. I think
Shame them.
They need to be bullied for their abject intellectual laziness and the fact that they sit there and serve up this cruelty, and that these Fox viewers sit there and digest it with glee.
Like it.
It is the dumbest thing you can do. Watch Fox News.
I'm all in.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so they're back at it again. What's your thoughts on this, Shelley?
My thoughts are, bitch, bring it on. That's my thought. Bring it on. Please, let me send you my email address, the YouTube channel. Bitch, bring it on. Bully me if you can, if you will, if you try. I am so ready. I have been fed up with you guys for the last 3 or 4 years, even before President Trump became reelected again. Bring it on. That's my thoughts, KJ. Back to you.
Yeah. They just always love to pick. They go from one extreme to the other, from being a bully to being a victim. What are your thoughts on that, Nicole?
Listen, they have been bullying conservatives since probably early 2000, right? When we think back to...
and oh my gosh, nobody gets it worse than a black conservative.
Right. First of all, right? But you think about what they've done. MSNBC, 87% of their stories in 2008 were pro-Democrat, and only 13% of their stories were kinda Republican leaning, not over glowing. They actually changed their slogan to lean forward, which everybody took to mean that they were embracing being progressive. So they made their own bed. And then we want to fast forward to something very current. Let's think about when we had Trump making his speech to the joint session of Congress.
Right.
And they did not stand as a group for the women who had been brutalized at the hands of illegal aliens. They sat on their hands, quite literally, and some of them had those little dumb fans with the stupid sayings on there. And then when Trump talked about DJ, and DJ, was hugging the Secret Service guy, only one Democrat stood up, and then they dragged her for filth all over social media for breaking ranks. They have been bullying this particular president since he came down the gold escalator, right? So bullying is nothing new. However, I will say, she is a little scary. She's just a little bit scary because anybody with that much damn Botox that can't blink her eyes, I'm telling you, she's going to scare somebody to death. She's going to just pop up and go, and they're going to be like, oh my God, it's the Crypt Keeper. Girl, try again. Conservatives have tough skin. We have to have tough skin, because people like you make everything harder for us. Yeah. Every single thing harder for us. So she's going to have to try much harder than her little podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely. To try harder.
Absolutely. And guess what? As Shelley says, you said, we have tough skin. Okay. We've seen it all. We've heard it all. We're the ones as conservatives, particularly in urban areas, in left-leaning states, that have to really get the brunt of this stuff. So it's not anything you can say that we probably haven't heard before. So as Shelley said, bring it on.
Let me tell you, when I write my memoir, maybe the first 5 pages are just going to be all the dirty names I've been called.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be in like half a pike of print, so you're going to have to use a magnifier to see it so I can squeeze it all on there. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to come harder than that, sis. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to come way harder than that.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've gotten it so bad. I mean, we've mentioned it on the show before, at festivals, out in the public. I mean, emails, texts, all types of stuff we get nasty thing messages
right.
from the left, and it's mostly white liberals.
women.
Yes, white women, because they hate to see a black conservative. It drives them wild, and I mean like crazy. Yes. You can't even have a dignified conversation with them. You cannot. There's no rationale. Soon as they hear that you're pro-life, that you're pro-gun, that you're small government, and Lord help you if you say that you voted for Trump, they lose their minds. I mean, the Botox starts to ooze out of their nose,
they go flat.
Wrinkles on their foreheads start to wrinkle all up. It is really, it's demonic.
It's absolutely demonic, but this is them losing control over the things that they want to control.
Yeah.
How dare you have your own opinion? I didn't issue you one, right? I keep talking about that paternalistic and maternalistic school of thought. Black people have got to grow up. We have got to grow up in this world, or they're going to keep, slowly telling you what to do. Thinly veiled racism is a thing, y'all.
Yeah. Well, we're thankful for people like Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dhillon.
Yes, Harmeet.
So, yes, that brings us to our next story. The Biden DOJ might have turned a blind eye to election fraud, but now there's a new sheriff in town, and her name is Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dhillon, and she is not playing games, folks. She's launching legal strikes across the country to clean up our voter rolls and dismantle race-based Democrat gerrymandering. Take a look at this next clip. It's clip 3.
Our constitutional duty is to protect the right to vote for all Americans. 60 years ago, Congress passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965 to confront the brutal reality that too many Americans were being denied their rightful access to the ballot. The Voting Rights Act came at a critical time in our nation's history and was the catalyst of necessary change. This landmark law removed barriers to voting. It outlawed poll taxes and literacy tests and gave the federal government the tools to stop discriminatory barriers at the ballot box. Today, under the leadership of President Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi, this Civil Rights Division is continuing to protect equal and transparent ballot access with vigilance and resolve. We are investigating violations of federal voting laws. We're ensuring that all 50 states have and continue to have clean voter rolls. We are challenging efforts to suppress or dilute the vote. We are attacking illegal race-based gerrymandering, and we are protecting ballot access for all Americans. We have sued jurisdictions such as North Carolina for not registering voters properly by first verifying their eligibility. We have notified Texas of grave concerns about congressional districts drawn with racial motivations, and we are suing other jurisdictions where there is evidence of ineligible voters on their voter rolls. Our job is to make it easier to vote and harder to cheat. On this anniversary, we honor the Voting Rights Act, not just by remembering it, but by enforcing it for all Americans. And that's my promise to you.
All right. And congressional districts should not be drawn based off of race. I can't even believe that's a thing.
Yeah.
I just realized that was a thing when I researched this article.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, Shelley?
Well, gerrymandering can be done for any reason. Right. Typically it is race, but it's supposed to be based on population, right?
Yeah.
And that's all, that's basically the criteria, population, regardless of what they look like are in your district. As long as they are American citizens, that's the constitutional basis. Of course, the left wants to add in anything else, and including the kitchen sink. But Harmeet, this is one of the reasons why they don't like, I'm going to say, this administration. Not only is this administration being led by President Trump, the masculinity, but he has some very tough, smart, edgy women in office. They don't care, if you will, if you call them names, whatever. They have a job to do. They're competent. They are confident. They look good. They present well. They are knowledgeable about whatever their area is, and they are fearless. This is what the left doesn't like. Harmeet is, I call her a tiger. She's a tiger. She's smart. She's what do you call them? A whippersnapper, right?
Yes.
So she has no fear about the left, and she's going to do exactly what she says. Ensure that Americans have legitimate access. Voting access, that they are legitimate when they vote, and it's not based on their skin color. So the Jasmine Crockett's and whomever, the Obamas, the Kamala Harris's, all these people can just go to hell because they are not going to win this. We have people in office that the American people have elected, President Trump and this administration. We want, if you want to call it truth in voting, truth in the packaging, whatever, we want our voter rolls cleaned up, and we want them to have legitimate, valid votes, and that's what we want counted.
Yeah, absolutely. Harmeet has been doing this for years. She's not new to this. She was the national committee woman from the great state of California. Believe it or not, there are tremendous Republicans in California. But she has, for probably the better part of 8 to 10 years, been doing this very same thing, making sure that people have the right to vote. She sued states over COVID restrictions. When I tell you this woman is the absolute truth, she is the absolute truth. She is not shakable. It's remarkable, Shelley, you hit that nail right on the head. The people that Trump has surrounded himself with this term versus last term, sometimes you see the divine hand of God on things. This whole Joe Biden thing, while it set the country back some, I think Trump needed that time to kind of take a look at the people who are around him and make other decisions. Harmeet is going to be after this like a pit bull after a greasy pork chop. Make no mistake, she's coming for people's necks. And with Pam Bondi being her boss, there's going to be great results.
Well, I hope so. Lawsuits, they've already started some of these lawsuits to purge the voter rolls. So in North Carolina, they're accused of failing to verify voter eligibility before registration. California, over 1 million potentially ineligible voters in LA County alone. Orange County, the DOJ lawsuit, they have a lawsuit over attempts to keep non-citizens on the rolls. So folks, this is just starting and we are here for it.
Absolutely.
Sound off in the comments to let us know what you think. Do you think these lawsuits, this agenda is needed? I certainly do. This was one of the things that I voted for Trump for. And I was upset in the last 4 years when he was in office because I felt like they should have done more about election integrity. But now that he is on it, and I'm so happy for it.
Yeah, Nicole, you were right. You're right, KJ. Nicole, President Trump, I think he had some good people in place the first term. He was just so distracted, right? He was everywhere, particularly with the Russia hoax, the Russia gate, Hillary Clinton, whatever. So I can understand that to that degree. I do believe the focus should have been much more, focus, if you will, on certain issues, particularly that first term.
Policy debate.
Exactly. But now he's like everywhere. It's like he's like water, if you will, like air. He's everywhere all at once, or at least his administration is. And they are focused on the right topics or the right issues, the right policies for the right people at the right time. And I'm glad they are starting this now. What's this? 8 months into it? 7 to 8 months?
8 months.
Yes, because we still have 3 more years to go. And then, hopefully JD or Marco or whomever is going to be president again to continue this. This is the foundation of it, if you will. And it is much needed and much, much welcomed.
This is what happens when you're proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly.
And I think his first term,
Exactly.
they caught him so off guard that they found themselves being reactive to the press. And the press did not take their foot off the gas with that Russia hoax. This time around,
They don't know what to do.
he's controlling the narrative. I keep saying that he is absolutely reveling in his authority as president. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well, he's not only just proactive, he's pro-American.
Absolutely.
And that is lacking big time in our country, particularly on the left. Speaking of that, we have this Democrat congresswoman who recently said it's one thing to that she was entirely happy. She discounted her American citizenship.
Oh yeah.
So it's one thing to be proud of your heritage. It's another thing to entirely for a sitting U.S. congresswoman to stand on foreign soil and trash America. Take a look. This is clip number 4.
Quiero terminar decir unas palabras en español porque yo soy guatemalteca con mucho orgullo, primero que soy americana.
All right. So right there, it was very controversial. She basically said that
she's Guatemalan before she's an American.
Yeah, she's Guatemalan before she's American. And so that was Representative Delia Ramirez. She was at some leftist summit in Mexico City. So she attacked U.S. foreign policy, blasted our immigration laws, and made it crystal clear where her loyalty lies. Before we dig into this, I want to acknowledge our super chatters, folks. Thank you all so much. All right, we have Chadwick. Says Shelly sees a man in uniform and starts pulling out the honey. Thank you so much for the $5 super
my
chat.
goodness.
No, all right. Kung Fu CJ says I applied also for ICE.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rebecca with a $10.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, hey, it's my guy, Tijuana Border Jumper.
Yes, it's good evening, ladies. Nicole for president.
Lord.
Yes, we'll be in your staff.
Listen,
that's right.
My two chiefs of staff to split the job up.
Yeah.
Or now I put Shelly in defense. That's what.
Yeah, DOD. Yeah,
Secretary
of Defense. Oh, wow. All right, Sonia with a $10 super chat says Shell needs to run and be the first black president.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Presidents, man, I don't get any love. What am I going to be?
You're going to be the singer, play the music for us at the ball.
No. She's going to be press secretary. Yeah, she'll be tearing them up.
What she said? She said I would be one of the people to sing at the ball. So no cabinet position. I wouldn't be in the White House. She wouldn't even have me on the lawn. She has me at the singing at the ball.
That's not true.
You don't know her. True. You all don't know her.
It's cold in the balls. I'm gonna tell you, it is icy cold at the Unravel ball.
All right. Okay. We got to get down to business because this is crazy. So this woman, she was at a Pan-American Congress hosted by Progressive International and Mexico's ruling Morena party, a hotbed for anti-American rhetoric. So attendees included leftist leaders from Latin America pushing anti-capitalist and anti-U.S. policies. Why is a U.S. congressperson even here at this type of event, Shelley?
Why is she a U.S. congressman, period?
That part.
Why? Again, these people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she may have been born on United States soil, right? Because I think her parents are from Guatemala. Nevertheless, this is, again, I'm going to use this word tonight, treasonous, okay? Why are these people even voted into office? How the hell? I got a new rule. Yes, I love our Constitution. If you are an anchor baby, and your parents were not born here, I don't care if you were born here. If you're an anchor baby, if your parents are not legal, then you cannot hold office. Bam, you can't hold office. That's it. Only American citizens live natural or not naturalized as far as, anchor babies, naturalized or born on American soil to American parents. You can have office in our government. Why is she even a congresswoman down there? Where was she? Mexico, talking about go the fuck to Guatemala. Go down there and serve in their country or Mexico. Get the fuck off our soil. You a bitch too. I'm sick of these people. Why the hell is my taxpayer money paying her salary for her to go literally and spit on our country? All the people, the military people who served, died, whatever, on American soil and for Americans, for her to go down to Mexico and sing the praises of Guatemala. Bitch, please. I need her phone number. Yeah. I need her. By the way, I'm sorry, just follow up. I said that. I did send a letter to Baltimore City. I said that a couple of weeks ago. I did do that. I haven't gotten a response yet. But I'm going to do the same thing for her, this branch.
Where's Davy Crockett when you need him?
Listen,
Nicole, what are your thoughts here?
She took an oath of office. They all take an oath of office when they become sworn into Congress. One of the lines say that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same when we're talking about the United States of America, right? And that she took this obligation freely. Nobody was holding a gun to her head, right? She's supposed to put her American constituents well before anything that happened to her in Guatemala. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with loving where you're from. Right. Again, being pro-Guatemalan doesn't make you anti-American. However,
but she said, I'm proud Guatemalan.
She's a proud Guatemalan before she's an American.
And no more double damn citizenship, dual citizenship.
And for that, they should bring her up in the House on ethics charges. She should have to face the Speaker of the House and all of her constituents, quote unquote, her colleagues in the House, because there's something about people who are putting their personal ahead of what they're supposed to do in Congress.
Ingrates.
When we talk about the girls on the squad, Ilhan Omar, and how she's Somalia first and all, then go back to Somalia.
Right, exactly.
She likes Guatemala.
That's racist.
Well, listen, I'm good for being racist.
Exactly.
I've been called that several times too, with some adjectives in front of it. But let's just say this. Imagine what her nation would be like if she would have stayed her rusty ass in Guatemala.
The same way it still is right now.
No, I mean, she could have been something. She could have did a little something. She was smart enough to get elected here in the United States. I'm sure she could do something incredibly productive. In fact, there's an app for that. They'll give you a free plane ride, and you stay there 6 months. They'll send you a check for $1,000 American dollars. You can live a happy life, but you cannot stay in the halls of Congress. And I don't think she thought this would ever leak.
Yeah, she would.
I don't think she thought this would leak.
Yeah.
And it did. It leaked, and now she's backpedaling as fast as she can. But your words are your words.
I just don't understand why these people choose to come here. I mean, or stay here, I should say. You can't do this in any other country. Mm-mm. When you go to other countries, they don't badmouth their country like we do. Like some of these Americans, these leftists do. If you hate it here so badly, leave.
Exactly.
Just leave.
Exactly. Like I said, no more double citizenship, triple citizenship. No more diplomatic immunity coming here, and then you get the visas because you're a diplomat. None of that. Close our borders. Send Ramirez's ass to Guatemala and whoever else wants to go with her. Send them all. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of our taxpayers' money being used to pay these bitches, to pay these traitors, these ingrates. I'm sick of it. And then they get to gloat and brag all overseas about their home country when they are literally living here and lapping it up, the life on American soil at our expense. I bet we paid for her flight there.
Of course we did.
Yeah.
Of course.
We've seen this. This has been a pattern. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, and others. The squad and their allies repeatedly criticizing the U.S. while elevating foreign interests and globalist ideologies. Ramirez is just the latest to do this. But this has got to stop, particularly from our elected officials. If they're going to do this, they need to be held to account.
Absolutely.
I want you guys to sound off in the chat. What do you think should happen to her for saying these types of things, if anything at all? I'm really interested in see what you guys say. And again, folks, we are on the road to 200,000 subscribers, and we need your help. We have to get there by Labor Day. We can only do it with your help. So as you come in, hit that like button. It really helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? We have so many people watching tonight.
Absolutely.
We don't have the same amount of likes, so we want to get those likes up.
That's right.
Well,
Get the
listen,
likes up.
if
All right.
you
have do you want a border jumper? Says, I'm a guest in Mexico, and although I'm Mexican, I'm American first.
I know that's right.
But I would never be rude like that to the country of Mexico or the people. She needs to be booted out of the USA, period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tijuana. Kung Fu CJ says, Shelly E is a junkyard dog. Yes, she is. DJ with the $5 super chat says, we build their city closets. Who's afraid of their bullying?
Absolutely.
Right. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much.
I can't stand ingrates and I can't stand bullies, and I'm here for it. Those people, those types of people are sickening to me. You know how when you were young and your parents would say, stop, you need to be grateful, be grateful. And
Yes.
you really don't appreciate it until you become an adult and a parent, right? But I can't stand ingratitude. People who, a country no less has been good to you. A country who has given you the freedom that you probably would not have in Guatemala and Mexico and any other damn country in South America. You would not have the income, maybe the education. You certainly probably would not have been a congressperson in those countries, but you bring your bitch ass here, or your parents had the unfortunate, he had the unfortunate case that you were popped out of your mother's pussy. I'm sorry, excuse me, that you popped out, and now you're going to be an ingrate, and the hand that feeds you, you are literally biting on it. Yeah, I'm a goddamn junkyard dog, and I want to bite you, and send your ass packing and bleeding to Guatemala. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, it's about time. But folks, again, while a sitting U.S. Congresswoman is in Mexico City telling the world she's Guatemalan before she's American, bashing this country, our military, and everything we stand for back here in the United States, real Americans are paying the price for failed Democrat leadership. Edward Quarterstein, known online as Big Balls, and isn't this something? First she's just talking about pussy, and now we're on Big Balls. Was nearly beaten to death in broad daylight on the streets of DC, trying to protect his girlfriend from a pack of teenage thugs. This is the America these elites have created, one where elected officials can talk down on our country while young men are left to fight mobs on their own streets. Look at him. Oh my gosh. And did we show the before picture? We had the before picture. That's him, remember?
Yeah.
With Elon
the Doge
talking
meeting.
about the Doge, right. And there was a whole lot of fanfare surrounding him. Oh my goodness. So President Trump has had enough. We've all had enough, and so has President Trump. He's threatening to federalize DC after this savage attack. Take a look here. This is clip 6.
By the way, I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that. A young man who was beat up by a bunch of thugs in D.C. And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts there?
Listen, he's given them every opportunity. Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, has had every opportunity, to get things right, to get this crime under control. Navy Yard, the area where a lot of young people hang out, there's bars and restaurants and that kind of thing, at certain times is just unbearable. These wild droves of children. And so the police have been told to treat them like children. Go home, don't touch that. And, but I need them to treat them like 1980s children. I need a cop with a big black belt to come out and start wailing on these kids. Now, in true form, not all these kids are from the district. Some of them are from Maryland, like the 2 kids that they caught, the 14 and the 15-year-old in this particular thing, are from Maryland.
Hyattsville, yep.
Yeah,
because a 15-year-old male and a 15-year-old female from Hyattsville.
Yeah, so these are kids who get to go down there and act a fool because it's lawless.
And mask.
Yeah.
You have the Democrats out here trying to dox ICE agents doing their job. And then you have these juveniles running around here. They're here in Baltimore as well. All of them have shiesty masks on.
Yeah.
Or they'll have a mask over their face. Nobody's saying anything to them. It's really ridiculous.
Well, justice for children is in DC is just a joke, and Trump is right on.
And so it is here in Maryland as well. I don't necessarily, I know they're young people, but they're not just children, they're animals. And so in this instance, if you want to call it federalization of DC, federalize it, bring in the military, I say bring in the damn water hoses too. Call it racist. Spray them like dogs, like animals, like they really are. That's how they're acting. And spray their parents when they come bitching too. Spray all of them. Just spray the hose it down and bring in, if you're going to bring the military, more police as well. I don't care.
It's non-lethal. It's
non-lethal. Americans are sick and tired of having the cities and states that we love. I love our country. Our country is beautiful. I mean, yes, some cities are worse as far as crime than others and other activities, but we need to clean house. And if these juveniles are acting like animals and their parents and whomever else that claims to love them and they're just children, hose the place down. Bring up rubber bullets and all that stuff. Get them out. We're sick of it. We are sick of it. Let's get these people under control, and then we can deal with the other issues as well. Police officers are making 30, maybe 70, 80,000 to $80,000 a year. They don't come to work every day, put their lives on the line for your misfits, your baby's kids and all of these people. We're sick of it. We are sick of it. Our police officers, we love them. They have real work to do.
Absolutely.
And taking care of your misfits, your bad behaviors, your mistakes, or whatever the case may be, is not on their top of their agenda. We don't want their time and efforts wasted in that sense. So round them up too, hose them down, rubber bullet their asses, and send them packing. Pack them up. Send them. Where was the J6 was housed? Put them there.
Yeah.
Whatever that detention center was. House them there. I don't care anymore. I'm sick of coddling these young people. They are old enough to know better. If their parents didn't teach them, then this is why we have the second layer, if you will. The community and the social setting needs to teach them proper social behavior.
Then you get them on TV. You know, the mothers come on. You ain't gotta do my baby like that. Why you do my baby?
He's
like
a good baby. He's got good grades. He's got great grades. But you know, the truth of the matter is, when you talk about federalizing DC, one of the things that DC is saying is some people are floating the idea that they can once again become a part of Maryland, that we would retrocede them back to Maryland. And I'm going to tell you, Marylanders are like, oh, hell no. No. We're not interested. And then the people in DC say, well, we'll lose our culture, but we need to kind of hide from, as they say, this MAGA onslaught. But Washington, DC is the capital of our nation. It should be safe. It should be clean. You should be able to walk down the street. You remember the Jewish couple that got shot and killed in the street. But I'm going to tell you, all summer long at the National Harbor, they had like a 7 p.m. Curfew. The sun was still shining. They had to go unless they were with an adult. And I don't mean like 7 kids, 1 adult. I mean a 1-to-1 ratio. That's how, when I tell you droves, there'll be like 20 or 30 of them. And they would just come on a block and just swarm.
Did they know that he was part of the, I mean, I don't think they did.
No, they had no idea. No. So apparently it was 10 teens. So it was 10 teens during an attempted carjacking. He heroically shoved his girlfriend into the car and took the beating himself to protect her. So again, it was 2 15-year-olds, multiple suspects still roaming free. So folks, we will keep you updated on this story. Please keep this young man and his girlfriend in your prayers.
And can I say this too? You cannot convince me that 9 out of 10 of these parents don't know what their children, their babies are doing. You can't convince me that they don't know. What it is that they probably can't control them because they've created these monsters, right? They have allowed them and told them, you know, you're pretty and you're beautiful and you're this and you're amazing. And when they should have been getting their ass kicked. What you call the other day, KJ? The holder effect.
Oh, HOTA.
That's what they should have been doing long ago, long before they set foot in anybody's preschool or K through 12 or whatever. These children, these parents need their asses kicked as well because they know the terror that they have in their home and they know that the terror that they are putting on the rest of us. And we're sick of it. We are sick of it. I don't care. They need to be off the streets. Again, I said the other night, some prayers, ain't no need to wasting your prayers on. Ain't no need to wasting your breath on it. You can pray all you want, whatever. But some of these jokers, 1% for God.
I just think it's going to be a very interesting rest of the year. So DC's budget comes from Congress. And one of the things that Congress can do is put riders on their money. So if they want money, let's say, to pay their staffing, then it will come with a rider that says BLM Plaza has to go. You got to find something to do with these homeless folk on the way to the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue because everybody hated stepping over the bums just to get to the White House. Those are things that have already happened. But they'll continue to use those riders to force compliance of Mayor Bowser. Trump can also take over their police department. He can also send in the National Guard. Congress can, take home rule back. They can recall that law, and that would be unfortunate. That would really, really be unfortunate. I hate to see that, but they're going to have to get this city together.
Yeah,
they're going to have to get it together.
Well, we will continue to follow this story and keep you all updated. Want to change gears a little bit and talk about, I don't think we've spoken about this yet on Pop and Politics. The Macron lawsuit.
Oh, Lord.
We have some super chatters want to get to first. Kung Fu CJ.
Hey.
With the $5 super chat says, BB is a hero. Chivalry is not dead.
Yes, sir. He is. Absolutely. He should not have to buy a drink the rest of his life. Yeah.
He says, Nicole, I may need you to step in with the anger.
Oh, step up with the anger.
Step up with the anger. Okay. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Kung Fu CJ. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right.
We have
another one there. All right, Jay. All right,
Hey,
Jay with a $10 super chat says, I'm from DC and I would love if my city to be federalized. It's been ran by liberals too long and nothing has changed.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we're not far. You know, we're here in Baltimore and
30 minutes away.
Yeah. So, all right. So this Macron lawsuit. So, man, over the last 2 days, things have gotten really hot and heated
and weird.
Right. With this Macron lawsuit and between Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. So let's first talk about this. So you guys, you know, I'm sure everybody knows by now, France's Brigitte Macron is suing Candace Owens for defamation. Allegedly, she's saying, well, Candace Owens apparently pushed some type of what she's calling a conspiracy theory that she was born male under the name Jean-Michel Chagnon, her brother's name, by the way. They alleged a massive cover-up, including fake documents and even involvement in Jeffrey Epstein scandals. So Brigitte is 72 years old right now, married to President Emmanuel Macron since 2007, and has always denied this as nonsense. So this lawsuit was filed on July 23rd, 2025, in a 219-page defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens, her LLC, and her company, George Tom Inc., in Delaware Superior Court, where Candace's businesses are incorporated. The complaint actually accuses Owens of a relentless year-long campaign of defamation and transphobic bullying on a global scale. So here is Candace Owens yesterday, I believe, on Piers Morgan. This is clip 10.
If you're right, it's been a magnificent display of fearless journalism exposing a bombshell revelation about the First Lady of France. I absolutely make no bones about that whatsoever. But if you're wrong, as I believe, I genuinely believe you're wrong, then it leaves two avenues of explanation for why you would pursue this so aggressively. One, you've been duped by these French journalists. And secondly, worse, that you kind of know it's not true, but you've ridden the wave of conspiracy theory about it because it's been so lucrative and it's gone around the world, like you've been saying. And I think that is why they're suing you, because ultimately they know that you've been amplifying this massively more than the journalists had in France, getting way more global traction. And it boils down to one simple fact, not photographs, as you keep trying to distract me with, but a sex test. If on day one of this case, she just produces an actual sex test report that says she's a woman, you're going to realize in that moment you've been completely duped.
All right. So that was there on Piers Morgan. Now here is Megyn Kelly. She, if you guys watch Megyn Kelly's show, she does a really good job with actually going line by line through many of these viral lawsuits, these famous lawsuits. And so this was one where they were going, this is a show where she was going over multiple criminal cases, lawsuits with a panel of attorneys, and they just go through the legal aspects of the case, because she is by profession an attorney and a journalist for many, many years. So here she is here giving her take on this. This is clip 11.
Legal analysis on it. And what they're going to have to prove, Arthur, is that Candace knew it was false or recklessly disregarded that it appeared to be false. And I will say this in her defense, I believe she's a true believer. I do not believe she knows this is false. Reckless disregard is going to be the interesting question.
I totally agree with you. And my interaction with Candace hasn't been too deep, but deep enough where, I mean, she did a whole thing on Harvey Weinstein, right? So we were involved with that, and I'd spoken to her several times, and she got it all right. I mean, and even things that I didn't want her, like, weren't that helpful for Mr. Weinstein, like, she still reported on things accurately. So on that limited exposure that I had to her and her reporting, she dug deep, and she was very thorough, and she was very ethical and honest in that particular scenario. I don't know enough about this, but I don't think she's reckless with herself and her family that she's going to just make I mean, she knows what these laws are. She was put on notice. So if she was really, playing with fire, when you're put on notice months ago, like, hey, don't do this, and here's proof, and she still disregarded that, she must have something, as you just said, that she believes she's holding on to that makes sense, that will clear her in any lawsuit.
Well, here. Let's say she's a little wacky. Let's say she's a little off, right? And beats to her own drum. Again, that's going to help her. If she doesn't know it to be false, like they're claiming. I mean, the plaintiffs came out there on his show and said, we believe we can prove she knew it to be false. Wow. But let's go to the second tier. A reckless
He's not going to be able to do
truth.
that.
Well, I mean, it's amazing that he. Listen, if I'm an attorney, I don't go to the highest
an audio
tier.
tape, it'd have to be an audio tape of her being like, I know it's not true. I'm just doing it for ratings.
Right. But the key is whether it's a reckless disregard, and the fact that she's eccentric, a little wacky, whatever that is, I believe can help her.
Yeah, I think I'm saying this is the worst case scenario for
I don't know anything
Candace.
about her.
But I will say this: Delaware federal court is not great for her. I've spoken to a bunch of defamation attorneys, and most of them say this is not ideal for her. There will be a question about whether the Macrons want to see this thing through to trial. I feel like she probably will. And it's tough. I'll tell you, just as a media personality, it's tough to get insurance for defamation.
I was going to ask you that question. Can you get insurance?
Yeah, she's got skin in this game, no question.
All right. So before we get into this, I want to acknowledge your super chats. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so
we
much.
Appreciate you. All right. Rebecca with a $20 super chat says age of accountability should be 14 and above to be tried as an adult. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Josh Winston says, I used to be the director of tourism for National Harbor, Maryland.
Very cool.
And our PG County Police, Oxon Hill Manor staff, and Fort Foot Baptist Church handled these kids with old school tough love. That's actually what they crave and need.
Josh, you're just all around. Do you wear a uniform? But they also need a tough, swift kick in the ass.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you. Yeah. So let's get into this. Lot of back and forth between them. Now, I watched the whole show where Megyn Kelly talked about the case, and she was not nasty. She was not. She just laid out the facts as they were. Yeah, but Candace Owens really went after her on X. I think we have that caption. It's image 3. Where Candace Owens got real nasty with her.
Oh, this was Megyn.
This was Megyn responding. Do we have what Candace said? That was at the top of.
She took a screenshot or something of the clip of the.
Candace was, just went after Megyn. Called her, just was very nasty, and then Megyn responded. So I don't know.
I mean, it's.
What do you think of the lawsuit first? And
the lawsuit. Okay, I think the lawsuit is fair game. Let me say it that way. It's fair game. The Macrons can bring the lawsuit. Candace can, bring her proof or whatever the case may be. Fine, play it out in court. That's number one. Number two, I saw the Pierce interview and the show with Megyn and her lawyers there. I want to hone in on this. I think maybe they didn't do a good job of it. I'm not an attorney, but what Megyn and the attorneys were trying to convey, there's a difference between lying and believing something to be a lie. Right. Mm-hmm. So even if it's a quote unquote lie, or if it's false that Brigitte is a male or not a female or whatever, if Candace believes it, she's not lying. Candace is not lying because that's what she believes. Now, they can have all the proof. You can still believe something that's not true. It doesn't mean that you're lying. I know that's kind of a little tricky, maybe whatever, but that's just the truth. If she's believing what she's saying, that's the part where the defamation is going to be hard to prove, or the reckless part, or that's why it's in her favor, because if she may be seeming a little cuckoo, but if she actually believes that, then that's going to be in Candace's favor. But it's also going to be to the favor of the Macrons. If what she's saying is lying, they can say that she has defamed them because they gave her proof. And one more quick point. Candace kept saying on Pierce's show about the pictures and all that stuff. And I think Pierce did a good job challenging her because he's like, why wouldn't you not just have a blood test? Because that would prove it all. So it is, to me, this is the clickbait part of it. Candace is going to keep doing this because it does bring her clickbait. All, what's her name? Brigitte, whatever. Brigitte has to do is provide a blood test. However, Pierce pointed this out too. Brigitte and the Macrons are under zero obligation to respond to Candace's requests.
Exactly. That's my whole point with this. Like, I find it fascinating in a, water cooler kind of something to talk about with your girlfriends while you're doing other things kind of way. But imagine this any other person. And you have this, pseudo celebrity coming after folks saying, you were born a man.
Right.
And I've got these other people who've looked into your background and there were 30 years and we don't have any photographs of you. And I'm going to require you to do this, this, and this to prove. And she's like, look, I got 3 kids. What are you talking about? And the husband is the president of France. I don't have time for you. It's a small thing to a giant. But once she got to the point where she's cyberbullying this woman, when she started doing series of shows about this woman, that's when she kind of went over the line. So this case is not only defamation, but it's cyberbullying as well. Whether or not Candace wins in court or Brigitte wins in court, the actual court case means nothing. The court of public opinion, if Candace is wrong, and from what they're saying that they saw in this 219-page lawsuit, there's plenty of pictures, there's plenty of evidence. If Candace is wrong, her career, all the money that she makes, all of the infamy is going to be gone.
Yeah. Well, before we have super chatters here, folks. Thank you all so much. All right, let's see here. Before we do that, Candace actually removed the tweet she made about
Megyn Kelly.
Yeah. Okay. So here she is saying, deleting an earlier tweet about Megyn Kelly. Not fair for me to snipe at her because I'm frustrated with the mainstream media when it comes to covering the Macrons. Also not fair to expect someone to watch 5 hours of a series to prepare for a legal segment of their show.
How about it's not fair to make a 5 hours worth of segments on somebody?
Well, that's actually what I was going to comment.
It's ridiculous.
Before we do, I do want to acknowledge our super chatters. Thank you so much. Kung Fu CJ says she is a male and DNA test will prove everything.
Maybe she is.
Then let her be a male.
Maybe she is.
All right. Tijuana border jumper with the $50.
Woo! Thank you.
Sorry, I haven't been around much. Been dealing with a schedule change, but I'm still a strong supporter of the channel.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tijuana.
Thank you so much. All
and
right.
Josh.
Yes, and Josh. Oh, we got Josh. We got Josh.
Okay, Josh, we love you twice. Thank you twice as much.
So my issue with this is, okay, I don't think the big deal was whether or not Brigitte Macron is a man. I think that was sort of like a side story, who cares really? But the other part of this was all the pedophilia that has been involved with leaders and elite in France and the Macrons, the alleged pedophilia, the idea that she groomed this Emmanuel, the president, when he was 14 or 15 years old, and she was like in her 40s. So to me, that was the larger story. But from what you said and what Pierce said, really pinpointed something. Candace is in this for the money, and she's going to ride this clickbait until she's even richer than she already is. I mean, she married a multi-millionaire. I think he's almost a billionaire. And you know, when you take into consideration his family's money as well, she's a multi-millionaire. And she wants to make even more fun money with this platform. So initially she got upset with Meghan for not watching her series, but it's just like, well, you've been pushing the whole transgender thing, and you haven't really been pushing the part about all the pedophilia and stuff. If that's the most important thing, then why are you so stuck on she's a man, baby? I mean, I don't understand.
Because one thing is
doing it for the grift.
One thing is easier to prove, right? The other thing, not so much. And one thing that you can say, I mean, she might be, nutty as she wants to be. However, one thing, she's very smart.
Exactly.
So she's not going to put her empire at risk on something that she can't technically prove. Now, Meghan made a very good legal point that if she believes the lies that these French journalists told her, then she's definitely not guilty of willfully defaming this woman. However, reckless maybe, because they've given her 219 pages before they filed the lawsuit and said, look, here's all the information that proves what they're saying and proves what we're saying. Stand down. Stop this. And she ramped up and did this 5-part series. And that's when they filed the lawsuit. If this was really about the pedophilia, then do a 5-part series on the pedophilia. Go after Jeffrey Epstein's and Ghislaine, whatever the hell her name is, and flip chart, do all of that thing that you do so well. But it seems incredibly bullying to come after this woman with a 5-part 1-hour series over whether or not this woman who has 3 children is a man. Now, whether she's a man or a woman, it makes no difference. It makes absolutely no difference in the grand scheme of things.
And along that line, why does she have to prove anything to Candace?
Exactly.
I mean, regardless if she has a dick or she doesn't, I don't know. I don't care. But I do want to go on the record and say I have to stand corrected. Earlier when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I said I didn't the lie and the belief. I didn't believe that she got a call from the White House to stop talking about
President Trump.
Of course. Apparently the story is that President Trump had an advisor or someone call her first, and then he called her himself. I still don't believe it, but I'm gonna be like Candace. I don't believe that that's the case. I don't believe it, but that seems to be the story.
It's plausible.
But it's possible. I just don't believe it.
Well, either way, I mean, we know she's totally turned on President Trump. She says she's disappointed she's like Charlemagne the God, she said she's disappointed with the way he has handled his presidency thus far. And she's disappointed with his foreign policy, and she regrets voting for him, although she said she would not have voted for Kamala Harris, but she regrets pushing people to vote for President Trump.
I think he feels the same way. I think he's definitely disappointed in her and definitely disappointed in pushing people toward her podcasting. Definitely disappointed. And I think a lot of people are feeling that way. And if this comes out that she's absolutely wrong and people start to listen and hear that she had 219 pages of evidence before the lawsuit was filed, this could be a problem for her.
Yeah, well, we will certainly follow this story and see what comes of it. So finally tonight, wanted to end on kind of a lighter note. I guess not really lighter, but sort of a pop culture topic. Talking about this viral sensation that's been around the world. So basically, there's this story of a 32-year-old Russian woman has already been told by The Sun, Complex, E-Online, Men's Journal, and other foreign publications. She reportedly broke her spine attempting the viral Nicki Minaj stiletto challenge. And so I want to talk about this from the aspect of, I mean, what is this? What is going on with pop culture? Take a look at this next clip. This is her. This is clip. Sorry. The next. Yeah.
Wow.
So That is a that's the woman there. So her name is
Okay.
Yekaterina,
Ekaterina, or something like that.
Okay, she's a blogger. Mariana Barukina has become a viral sensation around the world after an unsuccessful attempt to repeat Nicki Minaj's trend. As a result, she broke her spine. The 32-year-old woman stood on a saucepan. This was going around. This is like a lot of celebrities doing it too. They stand on these small areas, and she stood on a saucepan with a jar of baby food on top. And the idea is to balance yourself on stilettos. But of course, she lost her balance and fell off the table. Doctors diagnosed a compression fracture of the thoracic vertebra. So, I mean, this is dangerous, but we see these types of things going on all the time. How social media encourages extreme behaviors for likes, shares, and attentions. What's going on, Nicole?
Listen, she's dumb as a box of rocks. She's too old to be taking these kind of risks. She's a new mother. The baby food, or baby formula she was standing on is for her child. At some point, you've got to grow up, ladies. And this is just dumbass. First of all, anybody who's ever cooked so much as some oatmeal knows that counters are slippery, especially when you put a pan on top of it. Then you put baby food on top of it.
Something rolling.
Wait. And then you put your heavy ass on top of it. I mean, at some point, common sense has to kick in. But you're right, KJ. She did it because she's an influencer, right? She did it for the clicks. She wanted Nicki Minaj to pay attention to her. Well, now the world is paying attention to you. And what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? It's different when you see children taking these kind of risks because they're in that risk-taking age, and as a parent, you have to kind of guide them. You still want them to take some risks because they do have to grow up and face challenges and that kind of thing. But if your daughter comes up to you, clicking around in your stilettos and wants to stand on your slippery marble counter on top of a saucepan, on top of some baby formula, the answer's no.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
And it used to be a time, we've seen this type of stuff. This isn't just, it was embraced in the urban community, this rap culture, this type of stuff. But this isn't just an urban or American problem anymore. Hip hop culture has become a global experiment or export, I should say. Countries like Russia are now experiencing the consequences of embracing hypersexualized, reckless behavior rooted in Western entertainment culture. So, I mean, is this a glorification of this bad girl behavior, this materialism, plastic surgery, and dangerous stunts like this? What's going on, Shelley?
It may be all of that, but let me correct. I gave you the wrong name. Her name, I'll just call her Mariana. It may be all of that or some of that in different parts, KJ. But to me, what this is, it's just giving birth to your baby, just not being content.
Yeah.
It's
not enough.
It's not enough. Not being happy. Usually the first 2 weeks after you have your baby, you kind of in a fog, right? I mean,
sleep deprived.
Your milk might be dripping, not enough, too much. You sleep deprived, like you said. You don't know if you're coming or going, but to get on a countertop and the other challenges I saw people doing the challenge, typically, quote unquote, for safety, they were on a flat surface. They were low to the ground. They had slippery. whatever they were standing on was steady and stable, right? It wasn't something that would roll. So I don't know why, if she took it to the nth degree or what, but it tells me to some degree that having a baby is not enough. Being a mom is not enough. A new mom, no less, right? And I don't understand it. And then why would you have to take your cues from Nicki Minaj? When Nicki Minaj did this trick or whatever, this challenge, Nicki Minaj had people there to ensure her safety, right? Because they can't let her get hurt, right? I mean, she had all around. I'm sure there were other safety precautions, whatever, in place. But this, you said it was the hip hop culture exported, or I think it's foolishness being exported. I think it's people, in this case, new moms, not knowing, not understanding that, wow, you just performed or went through the most beautiful, awesome experience. Your experience what you just went through was basically next to God, bringing life into the world.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just, I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, did you give your comment?
I did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you, KJ.
KJ's in the fog.
Right. KJ's in the fog.
I'm sorry. All right.
Hey.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. Yesterday was my birthday. So thank you so much for the shout outs. If you guys want to do a super chat or whatever, buy me a cup of coffee or some tea. I really appreciate it.
Buy her some more flowers. Get her some more flowers.
Can you say happy birthday to yourself?
No. All right. So thank you all so much. And we will be back. We will be back on Friday. We will be back on Friday to see you guys here. We'll be back live. So definitely stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell and subscribe. What are you all waiting for? But if you still need another dose of it, I'll be here on Christian Conservatives tomorrow with KJ. What's he say? I'm going to start the stick a bobby pin and socket barefoot on Wednesday. Oh my God. Yeah, thank you so much, Tijuana. Oh my gosh. JT with a $10. Thank you.
That's so sweet, JT.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
Hey, if you guys want to do something great for KJ's birthday, please share this video with all the plumbers you know so they can subscribe. Right. And if they got a long butt crack, they can send her a picture, right? Just
gosh. No. Next thing you know, they're getting all these pictures of Oh my God.
Come on. We need all the guys in uniform, all the truckers. We need all the plumbers to subscribe to the channel so we can make our goal.
Crazy. Oh yeah. All right. So yep, we do. So again, tomorrow, actually Tuesday night, we had All American Talk Show, the All American Talk. So they were on here. Go back and check out their live coverage of the news. Really good program. Shelly was on there, so you got to go check her out to support it. So it's on there at All American Talk. And then tomorrow I'll be back on for at KJ Christian Conservative. So if you want a biblical spin on the news and politics, please check me out on there at KJ Christian Conservative. And we have at Just the Guys podcast on Saturday at 6:30. It's a male perspective at Just the Guys podcast. All right. We got another super
Brown Eyes. So much.
Thank you so much, Brown Eyes. We appreciate you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that does it for us, you guys. We really appreciate every last one of you guys. Your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your super chats. Thank you. Until next time. Look, Josh. Oh, we got Josh. We are sharing beefy buttercream. Oh my
what a show!
Gosh.
What a show!
Oh my goodness gracious! All right, folks. Until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
Happy birthday,
Bye.
KJ.